Hello everyone, Time to Grind here, and today I wanted to talk about Meteorfall Krumit's Tale. And Meteorfall Krumit's Tale is another roguelite deck builder that came out recently that takes more of a puzzle-like approach to the genre. So in it, you play as one of 5 different classes and you see a dungeon made up of a 3x3 board. What's interesting though is it fills the 3x3 grid with tiles that are made up of your deck along with all of the enemies that you have to kill to clear the dungeon. So some of the tiles you see that make up the board will be cards that you specifically put in your deck, and then some of them will be enemies that harm you that you have to fight and kill in order to clear the dungeon. And combat works pretty much like how you would expect it. When you click on an enemy, they tell you what they are thinking of doing, whether it's attacking you or defending or, doing something special. And when you attack first and you hit them, and then if they're still alive, they do their move. And, one of the special things they can do sometimes is like a blitz attack, which means they get to go first. And there's also some interesting mechanics where if, you fully block an enemy attack with, putting up a shield, they get stunned for a turn, actually. You kind of, parry them. So you keep fighting that, person until you kill it, you run away, or it kills you. And in order to deal more damage and protect yourself, there are 2 main types of cards you can put in your deck. The first is equipment, so this could be weapons that help you deal more damage, or armor that protects you, or even special items like a crowbar that removes armor off of an enemy and then gives you a shield back. And with equipment, they all have a durability. So during fights, you can equip them, and each time you use them, the durability goes down by 1. And normally they'll have, anywhere from 2 to 4 uses depending on the item. And when it runs out, it gets destroyed. And the other main type of card are single-use abilities that do different things like dealing piercing damage to an enemy, or freezing an enemy, or just cool effects like shuffling all the tiles back together and re-dealing them, and then healing you 4. So there's just a bunch of different cool things. Now, what's stopping you from just taking all of the equipment and all of the abilities that you see off the board and using is that they all actually cost different amounts of gold depending on how useful they are. So you actually have to pay a certain amount of gold to take them off of the 3x3 grid and put them into your inventory. And you get 1 gold from killing enemies, and there's also some cards like treasure chests that you can put into your deck that you can just instantly open and give you some extra gold. On top of that, if you don't have, say, enough money for something, but you really need to pick up some armor to prevent yourself from dying in the next fight, you can actually discard one of your own tiles on the grid instead of buying it, and that will give you 1 gold along with healing you for 2 health. So the entire game is kind of like this big puzzle because you have to calculate all these different tiles to see if you have enough money for things you need to buy and make sure you actually have enough weapons and armor to survive having to fight the enemies you need to kill, along with watching your health and making sure you just don't die. And there is a lot of pre-planning, and so a lot of the times I was just kind of sitting there and trying to think several steps ahead. I was trying to figure out which threats I needed to take out first and which ones I could maybe wait a little bit longer to kill. And once you clear the dungeon, you get to choose an extra stamp, which are just different perks that look really cute. I really like the presentation of them, along with picking a new item and having the opportunity to buy new cards and remove old cards that you no longer want in your deck because you have a deck limit. You can only have a certain amount of, cards in your deck at a single moment. So you keep getting further and further into the dungeon until you eventually fight the last boss and win the game. When you do, it unlocks harder difficulties, sort of like Ascensions and other roguelites that have come out recently. And going back to the characters, I have not had a chance to unlock and play them all, and I'll get to that in a second, but from the ones that I have played so far, they all play completely different. They all have different starting decks and different perks that they start off with, and my favorite character was actually the first one you unlock, which was the Wizard. Instead of doing a lot of just traditional fighting, you're just spamming these single-use spells over and over and over and trying to kill enemies or get them low before fighting them, and you can do a lot of cool things like catch them all on fire or freeze them and stuff like that. And real fast, I kind of just want to touch on how freaking amazing the theme and the art style of the game is. The whole art style gives me Adventure Time vibes, and also this cartoon back in the day, it was called Adventures of Flapjack and something like that. I can't can't remember, just an old Cartoon Network show. But it gives me vibes of those old cartoons. And, you know, just when you're attacking other people, you can see your character kind of go in and out of their frame a little bit into like the enemy's frame. And it's just really, really cool to look at and look at the animations. And the music is enchanting as well. It just makes the game super pleasant to listen to, especially when you're, you know, taking 30 seconds here or there to try to plan out your next couple turns. It's nice to have music and visuals that actually are amazing. And so I really love this game, especially with how deep the mechanics actually go. And it really makes you feel like you're making these like 800 IQ plays when things go your way. But for me, I didn't personally think that it was a game that I would want to play like hundreds of hours for. Maybe it's just because sometimes I am really, really dumb and I don't want to think at 800 IQ constantly. But in what I played of this game, I really, really enjoyed it. And I think if you are super into roguelike deck builders and you're maybe a little bit more okay with being it like a lot more puzzle focused, I think you would really, really love this game, because I've seen some people that have like hundreds of hours into this game. I think it has a lot of replayability. You know, you have all of the unlocks with the different characters unlocking the new types of cards you can get. You unlock the new different, you know, classes. Once you get each class to level 3, you get the next class unlocked. There's the ascension levels, the achievements. There's a lot to do in this game if you enjoy this game. And I really enjoyed it. I just, for me personally, couldn't see myself playing it for, say, hundreds of hours. But I think if you like what you're seeing, I think this very well could be a game that, you know, you sink hundreds of hours into. And I think that's one of the reasons I really liked the wizard class, because it did make it a little bit more fast paced, at least how I was playing the wizard. But either way, you know, I really enjoyed this game. I think if you're into this type of stuff, you're gonna love this game. $15, that's not, you know, not bad at all. So I would definitely recommend checking it out if you think you would be into it. But if you have played Meteorfall Krumit's Tale, or just from watching gameplay, I would love to know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. I try to respond to as many of you guys as possible, and I love talking with you guys. It's really, really awesome to kind of have a dialogue after the fact. But if you guys enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to see more content. New videos come out about twice a week, just on a wide variety of games. We are focusing on a lot of roguelite deck builders recently, it seems, but you know, love those type of games, and I hope you guys do as well. And if you guys are having a great day today, I hope you continue having a great day. If you guys aren't having a great day, I hope you guys start having a great day. But either way, guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. See you guys next time.